Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just checking on our live status wherever we should be. So give me a couple of seconds and hopefully that will give you a chance to, all you lovely people, get the notification, see that we're live and pop in and say, hi. So here we are. Yeah, just going live. Perfect. Just make sure you can hear me by listening to myself. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Just have to check out all this technology, don't we? Make sure it's all working right. One more space to check. I'm sure it will be fine. Sure it will be all perfect. Hopefully the main space that we want it to be. Yes, there we go. And we're live on there as well. Fabulous. Wonderful. Well, welcome to Angels in Action. It is Monday the 10th of June. Already second week into June. Don't know about you guys, but the weather's been very, very strange here in the UK for what we normally expect at this time of year. And we love to talk about the weather, us Brits, as they say. So anyway, we're just waiting for Larkin. She will be joining us very, very shortly. I think she's just gone to grab her coffee and then she will be with us. And yeah, we will get off on to this evening and see what comes up. Last week we had an amazing conversation around signs and how to recognize them, what to do to ask for signs, how to use, and yeah, just really how to connect with them and to know when we're receiving those signs. And that all started from a conversation around robins. And my beautiful robins, all four of them, are now have fled the nest. Up until today, they were still in the nest being looked after by Mom and Pop. And now went and checked them this morning before I went out, and they were still curled up in their nest, snoozing away. Got back home a couple of hours later and they were all out. I managed to see two of them. So I'm hoping that they're just hiding away in the tree there. And they'll start to find their wings and get flying very soon away from all the predators, which is a perfectly normal part of life, isn't it? And evolution. I'm just going to pop the comments on. Hi, Tammy. Lovely to see you. Thanks for popping in. So great to have you with us. And let me see if I can recall correctly. I believe you may be in Canada. Is that right? Just let me know if I am. It'll be a miracle if I am. Because from one week to the next, my memory just doesn't retain so much. So just reflecting on what my past week has been like. Yay! Wonderful. Well, welcome to you from beautiful Canada. I was watching I don't know if you're a Formula One fan, but I was watching the Formula One racing yesterday, and that was in Montreal in Canada. And what a beautiful looking place that is. Stunning. Got to see it from aerial views as they were whizzing around the racetrack. So yeah, who knows? It's on my to-do list to come to Canada and have a visit. I have a friend who lives, I believe, if I remember correctly, near London in Ontario. So, and I gather it's a beautiful place. So that's Canada. Yay. Well, welcome, Tammy. Feel free to invite your friends. As you know, we're live in Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. Angels in Action. Hi, Bernadette. Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming in. We're just waiting on Larkin. She'll be joining us very shortly. So I'm just really sort of sharing my week and what's been going on. So my baby robins are now fledglings and they've fled the nest. Try saying that one rather quickly. Fledglings that fled the nest. That could be a tongue twister, couldn't it? And yeah, so I've had a very busy week up until today. booking in clients for curate sessions. I'm also now starting another healing modality called hologram healing. So I am looking for people who would be interested in testing that out, volunteers, to try a free session with me. So if you're interested, just find me on Facebook or Instagram, drop me a message, and we can see about getting you booked in for a hologram healing. So that would be fun to do as well, because I love all these energy modalities that we can work with. It's brilliant now that science is really starting to come up to speed with perhaps what spirituality has known for centuries, that everything is energy, and we can connect with each other on an energetic level and offer um, healing modalities. For me, a healing modality is very much about the energy exchange, of working with energy, of transmuting and transforming energy into something that perhaps is a little bit stagnant or a little bit um, negative energy, for want of a better word, but energy that needs moving, that's creating blocks, etc. And then we can connect with that energy and help release it. It's very much, for me, working with healing modalities is very much about helping you to facilitate your own healing work. It's not about me providing a cure for you. It's about me being a channel to channel the energy through, so that then you can make the shifts in your own energy work, energy field, and find the tools and the connections that can help you to release those blocks as well. That's not to say that at certain levels, energy healing does not work instantly. It can do, it has been known to. There are lots of testimonials for people who do the curate um, modalities that have had instant changes in their energy blockages, to find that it's helped release an ailment that they've perhaps been holding on to for quite a long time. For me, my understanding with the work that I've done over the years is that energy begins at an emotional level. It starts with our emotions, and that leads to our thoughts. Our thoughts then lead to getting stuck in the body, and from there it starts to impact the auric field. That then starts to cause physical changes in the body. So when you can work with the energy at an emotional level as well as an auric field level, then you start to facilitate the changes that can take place. So I'm just finding it really fascinating at the moment with these two new modalities that I'm training with, that we're working on. Hi, Natalie. Lovely to see you, darling. Thanks for being here. Um, it's Hi, Anne Marie. Lovely to see you, Angel. Thanks for being here. I haven't forgotten your question. I know it's in the group, and I will be getting to it. I was hoping to have got to it today, but I had a not a disaster as such, but the central heating boiler decided to stop working last night. And of course, the engineers arrived this afternoon, and what they thought would be a 5-minute job turned out to be an almost 3-hour job. So we got there anyway in the end. So all is good. Um, so yeah, so it sort of took away from what I had planned to do for today. Hi, Anne. Lovely to see you. Thanks for popping in. It's so lovely to see all your wonderful faces and see where you are at. One second, sorry, I'm just catching up. Just somebody trying to get onto the live, so just sharing how they can do that, because we love to meet new people and have them join us. And then hopefully we'll have another new face come in to share with us. Anyways, there we go. Beauties of all of that. So yes, so as I was saying to the lovely Anne Marie, thank you, darling. Anne Marie is part of my subscribers group, and she left me a lovely question, which I will answer, about pendulum work as well. in the group. So, anyways, enough about me. How are all you lovely ladies? So I know Tammy is from Canada. Natalie, I know, is from Canada. Ah, there he is. There she is. She's found us. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. Glad you got here in the end. Nice to see you. So, so what else have I been doing this week? Yeah. So I think it's really mainly been focusing on that. Oh, and my Oracle deck. That's the other one that's up and coming. It's nearly done. I have channeled half of the messages for the cards, the other half to be done. And once that deck is completed, it will be available on an app called Deckable. But if you want to know more about it and see what it's about, I have shared some posts on my Facebook pages for you to see and just show you. It's called Keepers of the Galactic Codes, and I just love it. The imagery on it is amazing. The messages that are coming through for the cards are just very, I believe, enlightening. And also, I was inspired to what's the word? Put light language and codes as well into the energy of the cards by adding them in, but in a way that they're there, but you can't see them because it's all about the energy vibration. So that's coming up very soon as well. And I think that brings me about up to speed. So yeah, we're there already. So if anybody who's here already, and it's lovely to see you all, wants to, well, A, just let me know where you're all tuning in from. As I say, I know Tammy's from Canada and Natalie's from Canada and Catherine's from Ireland. Anne-Marie, I'm sorry, I should know where you're from and I've forgotten. And then Anne, I believe, Anne, are you in the US? So Bernadette, where you just pop in the comments. Ah, Birmingham. Wonderful. Not too far from me. It's a couple of hours drive from where I live, Birmingham. I live in Hull. So yeah, so we're in Bristol. Ah, that's it. Yes, I knew I should have known. And yeah, so beautiful. So lovely UK. It's just so nice to have so many people come in from different parts of the world and connect with you all. It's just lovely to do that. So I'm not really sure. I haven't really particularly been drawn to talking about anything in particular, which often happens because it's sort of like, I think we wait the energy to flow and just see what questions you beautiful souls pose for us to see what else can inspire us to share in the conversations. I mean, one of the things that's coming up for me this week is we've had an issue with the boiler, which is connected to water. I've got a lovely Buddha water feature in the garden, which I bought a new pump for. Hi, Dolores. Welcome, and welcome from New York. That's another place on my list of places to visit as well. So welcome. Um, so yes, so then I bought this pump for my water feature, which arrived, fitted it all in, it started to work, and then it didn't work. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? Because water is connected to it, our emotions. What emotions are there that are not perhaps not flowing, or perhaps have got a little bit blocked, or what is it about? And for me, this connection to seeing what was taking place with water around us was not so much about my emotions as such, but more about patience, waiting for things to take effect, because after 24 hours, what occurred with the water pump wasn't the fact that it was broken or anything. It was just to do with the fact that it's a solar powered one. We didn't have a lot of sunshine yesterday and it needed that sunshine to get its energy boosted. So now it's back to working at full power, which is another sort of lead in, really, I guess, to talking about energy and keeping our energy balanced and ways to do that. When we work, not just spiritually, but, mentally, physically, emotionally, we all know that we can feel drained and tired because of things that we've been doing. If we've had a busy week of work or whatever, we're feeling a little bit out of sorts, and we can I'll just pop your question up, Anne Marie, so that I don't forget it in case it scrolls up. And we can start to feel a little bit drained or tired or whatever. And this is all to do with our energy field. And some of you may know this already, but it's always nice, I think, just to reaffirm it and just to come back into looking at the basics of working with our energy field. People talk about being grounded, being earthed, and that's all pertinent. It's all very much a part of what we need to do to keep our energy levels at about not necessarily high, but just at a nice even balance so that we don't get too tired or we don't drain. And again, we can be impacted by emotional content. So, particularly looking at yesterday when the boiler broke down and my Buddha fountain wasn't working, all that emotional aspect of being connected to water, I could have gone into, oh, wow, what's going on? Really, really sort of not feeling the vibe and just not knowing if my energy hadn't been balanced as it is. Because my energy is balanced, I was able to look at the impact of what was taking place and just know that I didn't need to go into worrying that my emotions were out of whack or anything like that. It was really just a case of my energy's balanced. I feel good about this. I just need to look at this from a different perspective. And that's what I did. And that's where I realized for me in that moment, it was about being patient and just trusting that things were going to work out. But if our energy is not in balance, if we're feeling out of sorts, if we're overtired or we've given too much of ourselves to others, we can become very depleted. And when we do that, we can get tired, we can get emotionally upset. Things can just seem completely out of whack, and we're just not in a very good space. So it is important to keep your energy balanced, and there's many ways to do that. But one of the best ways is to really get out and ground and earth yourself. And there's an amazing book called Earthing, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, I'd have to look it up. But he started off as a brief synopsis about him. He started off as I believe it was a TV or a radio engineer, very logical, very scientific, really didn't think about spiritual stuff or anything like that. And then, an ailment happened which affected him quite severely, and he discovered this earthing, as they call it, where to the you could call it extreme, but it could also be quite normal. That he went and laid in the earth. He dug a hole, laid in it. I don't know if it was for half an hour or for longer, but anyway, laid in the earth, and he just felt this shift in his energy, and he felt different, and he felt almost well again. So he continued this practice for a while to really discover that it had meaning. And from that, he then took it down the scientific route. He started to do scientific studies on it. He then got people to come in and be like guinea pigs for him, if you like, where he would give them this equipment that he developed, which involved a stake in the ground, an earthing wire connected to a bed that he put little wires in and covered up in like parcel tape or masking tape. And they would lay on this. And you can now buy these. They're called earthing or grounding sheets. And it's really fascinating because when you plug them in, you don't actually need to switch the plug on, because all it's doing is it's connecting you to the earthing conduit that is built into your home. Certainly here in the UK, I'm assuming it's the same in other countries. And it connects to that grounding energy that we get from Mother Earth. So effectively, what we don't have to do is go out and bury ourselves in the earth for hours on end. We can use these products. I personally have to say that I was a bit, yeah, I hear the science, I get it. But I was going through a phase, and this was about 4 or 5, maybe a bit longer years ago, whereby my back plays up and I have, muscular issues with it. But I also had other things going on at the same time. And I thought, I'm going to try this earthing sheet. And in 24 hours, my back pain had gone. And I used this earthing sheet for many years up until recently. And I've just loved it. It's just been one of the great tools that I've found that you can use. But it is important to realize that we are electromagnetic beings. We have this electromagnetic energy. Mother Earth is electromagnetic. We make the two, we connect with that energy, and we can balance our energy field. There are many other ways as well to balance your energy, you know, hydration, nutrition, chakra balancing with crystals, energy balancing with thought forms. There are a whole variety of ways of doing these things out there. But for me, one of the best ways is to really just reconnect with Mother Nature. And on that note, we're going to say, hi, Larkin.
With my favorite note. Hello, hello. How are
Beautiful.
you?
Very well, thank you. Lovely to see you, Angel.
Well, thank you so much. I had a little barker today, and
Oh, did you?
so many fun things. We have so many big, beautiful, low windows in this house, and
Yeah.
so our little 30-pound white fuzzball was, well, she's not quite that. She didn't
Oh,
weigh that much. But anyway, and I'm finally making my coffee. So
okay.
talk
Perfect.
talk about busy and too much, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I love what you're talking about, because guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. You know, that connecting to nature is so important, and it's so undervalued in our society. And so for those of you not maybe who didn't grow up with that, who didn't grow up with that being a priority, who grew up with outside just being something that you do, I cannot emphasize this enough. And I want to share that from a whole lifestyle level. I grew up with two teachers. My mom was a Montessori preschool teacher, and she knew so much about the natural development of children, and how our brains work, and how our large and small motor coordination works, and how we learn to, self-soothe and work through things. And my dad was a science teacher, and all types of science and history. And so I feel really blessed, because one of the things that they gave me was a life that was so different than my friends. Such a variety of things. I mean, I got to dance, I got to do music, I got to do martial arts. We were outside every day. We always had pets and animals. I got to learn how to experience camping and insects and animals from a young age, so there wasn't fear there. So I can go outside now on my deck, and a spider can crawl across the rail, and I'm not like, oh my God, I have to go in and ruin my night. Like, this makes it really makes a big difference. For those of you in the UK, you don't have to worry about that so much. I think the biggest spider I ever saw there looked like a thread, and it wouldn't move for years on end. So, but my point is that when you're connecting to nature and the earth in any way, you're really connecting to your soul. And you know, you left a letter in nature about how I was feeling. That's wonderful, Anne-Marie. Yes. Hi, Bernadette. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I jumped right in here because I'm so passionate about this, and late as usual, but that's just how it is. But the point is that I didn't even I didn't need to write. I love that you're doing that, Anne-Marie. I think that's perfect for you. I think that's perfect for so many people. For me, I just remembered at an early age how to talk to trees. So, like my one tree in the front yard was my very best friend as a child. If I was upset, I would go out. And I mean, some people might say, oh my God, that's pitiful. Your tree was a best friend. No, it's that there's things that humans don't understand or will argue with you about because they have an ego, or they're going to try to fix you. Trees are pure consciousness. They are wise. They're one of the greatest healers, and they're one of the very best beings you could speak to, because they translate for each other and hold wisdom of the history of the earth. They all hold within them, and I get such chills when I say this, the history and the wisdom of watching humanity. So when you go and you sit with your back against a tree, or you hug a tree and you confess all of your woes, and you will feel comforted. And it shifts you into a different mode of being. And as Susie was saying before, forgive me, I'm making my coffee here. As Susie was saying before, not only is, we're electromagnetic energy. That's what we are. We are simply electromagnetic energy that is conscious. And so are all these other beings. And so when you're talking to the trees, they can feel your emotions. They know everything you're coming from, just like your spirit guides do. They know. And what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to be with consciousness, which is who and what you are eternally beyond your human form, which means what are you leaving behind, with the exception of your maybe your sticky thinking. What are you leaving behind when you connect with a tree? When you're doing grounding, what you're doing is you're stepping into an experience of consciousness that can override your egoic mind. And what is the core of all of your problems and struggles and suffering and woes and indecisions and everything you want to change? Your mind. Mind is synonymous with thought, which is synonymous with ego, which is synonymous with resistance, right? So when Susie's talking about grounding, also please don't think, spirit guides are asking me to remind you of this. Please don't think that this means you're going in the opposite direction of working with spirit or your spirit teams, as Susie and I are talking about. Please know that your spirit guides, your angels, your loved ones on the other side, they are pure consciousness, just like you. You have the egoic veil separating this. But nature, you see, nature, although many of the churches and some religions, especially Christianity, I hate to say it, but this is true, have tried to divide you from nature. Why do you think that is? Because nature is your physical, down to earth gift that is a connector for your physical senses to the spirit world. Unlike what the church would teach you, oh, it's paganism. Oh, stay away from nature. Oh, I was always made fun of by my friends in high school. Oh, you're a tree hugger. You're damn right I am. Yes,
Yeah.
because a tree isn't going to do to me what you would, what you're doing right now. So just keep in mind, if you guys want to get back to yourself, if you're confused, if you're depressed, if you have anxiety, if you're struggling, if you have physical ailments, what they leave out, what humans leave out, because if they allow you to connect to nature and remember who you are, you have power. So what humans that want to control you in society don't want you to remember is that nature is the physical, purest physical manifestation of spirit. Nature is the one that helps you remember who you are. Nature is the great healer. Nature teaches you how to live in alignment with your soul. So please don't underestimate that. And that is why Susie and I are always talking about, see my little leaf earrings?
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Why am I wearing these today? They don't even match. Now I know why. But,
Yeah.
that's why Susie and I are always directing you guys back to nature, because actually your angels and spirit guides will direct you to nature. Because it gives you a physical, just like journaling does, it gives you a physical aspect of experiencing and really connecting your physical body, your nervous system, as does this grounding work. It works on your nervous system. And by reconnecting you to that electromagnetic energy of the earth and grounding you to the earth, it's actually helping to align you. So don't underestimate that, guys. Okay. When you close your eyes, you see light pink, and it's from afar. Let me quick pop in. Let me quick say something on this, Susie.
Okay.
A couple of things, guys, that can happen there. Okay. Number one, I don't want to ruin it for you, Anne, but I want to make sure you guys understand there's two aspects of things when you close your eyes. It's one of the reasons why I trained myself. I don't know. I guess I didn't have to train myself. It just kind of happened. I just can use my third eye with my eyes open. And I often choose to see that way instead. When we close our eyes, we do actually naturally see colors physiologically because we see the inside of our eyelids. And depending on the light that comes through, that's a part of the light the colors that you guys often see. I hate to disappoint you, but you do actually see that. Depending on the angle of the light, the veins that are in your, where your veins are in your eyes at the time, whatever. Is if and when and as you learn to see things beyond with your human eyes and with your mind's eye and your third eye, you just have to learn to differentiate. So you might actually be seeing, a pink that is not the inside of your eyelids, and I'm not going to say that has to be what it is. But a lot of people think they're seeing colors with their mind's eye and or their third eye, and they're actually seeing the inside of their eyelids. So as you learn to differentiate and use that third eye more, and even practice with your eyes open, like looking at the edge of a tree or the edge of a person and starting to see auric fields and things. You'll be able to differentiate if that's what your brain is seeing, or if your brain is actually seeing through your mind's eye, which might be something else. Hi, Melissa. Welcome. All right.
Hi, Melissa. Hi,
Go
Rebecca. Yeah, thank you everybody for popping in. Fabulous. So we are only here for about another 15-20 minutes, I'm afraid, guys, because we do have other commitments this evening. So as much as I don't want to whiz through what we got going on with all these beautiful questions, we will spend a little bit of time with you, but maybe not as much as we would like to. So Anne-Marie says, I'm curious about how we can communicate with our guardian angels and spirit guides, which she then follows on to say, I've been reading a book about how we can all do it, but it's not happening for me. Now, my first response to this is, darling, throw the book out the window. Books are wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I've read many a book throughout this lifetime on all sorts of topics. And, you know, some books have amazing guidance, information, support, but they are only in that moment. You may read a book and find one sentence in that whole book makes complete sense and the rest just doesn't. And that's really what can happen sometimes. Then there are other books that you read and the whole book can make complete sense. So whilst I jokingly said throw it out the window, I do understand why you're reading the books. They do have their moments of usefulness. But in this instance, the reason I'm saying that is because what you are probably doing is you are probably thinking, wow, that's how it happens. That's how it should happen for me. Now, that's how it might happen. And it happened for the writer of that book because that was their experience. You, as a unique, divine, beautiful individual who is spirit and soul, will have a completely different experience. So I would say, please don't, when you read the book, please don't think that is the only way that what they're saying will happen and can only happen. It's not. It's their experience and they're happening. How you can communicate with your guardian angels and spirit guides is one way I would say is dependent on what your strongest senses are. You know, we all have our own, we have, you know, touch. That's a combination of touch and taste. Touch, taste, sight, sound, and knowing. And there are others. The main one people tend to think about is clairvoyance. We believe, you know, everybody wants to see, you know, and as Larkin was just describing, seeing is not a visual, I am seeing this image of us on this screen as I'm sat in my room, Larkin's in her kitchen. That's seeing, that's sight. But that's not how we see when we're using our other senses. And for everybody, it's different. The same as clairaudience, the clair of hearing. You know, it's clear hearing. Some people hear a physical voice. Other people hear not a physical voice, but words in their head. So now is that they're seeing the words or knowing the words. So there's a whole gamut of ways of connecting. To start that connection, it's about meditation, quiet contemplation, stilling the mind. All of these practices will bring you into a space of then learning how to connect and communicate. For now, if you're finding it, I won't say a struggle, because when we use words like struggle or challenges or obstacles, our mind is then going, oh, well, this is going to be a struggle. Oh, well, this is going to be an obstacle. And that's what we then expect it to be. You know, your phrase, it's just not happening for me. That's already an obstacle for you because you're saying it's not happening. And therefore the universe is going, okay, well, it's not happening for Anne-Marie, so it's not going to happen. Whereas if you can rephrase that and rephrase it in a way that brings it into a more acceptable, positive way of doing, then you will start to feel a change. Everything comes with practice. You know, some people, yes, very blessed, and from a very early age, as with Larkin, that communication was there. My communication didn't start until 30 years ago. I've had to work at it, I've had to practice, I've had to find different ways of doing it. I would say for you as well, trust that you are communicating already, because spirit and our angels are always around us. They always hear us. We are the ones that perhaps put up the energy that shifts that connection. There's a lot more to this than what is I am just saying now, but I hope that's given you a little bit of insight into change what you're saying. It's not happening for me, to it is happening for me. Trust that they are there, they are listening, and they are ready and willing to perhaps start bringing you signs that they are connecting and you are communicating. You can write letters, you can journal your thoughts. All of this is a way of practicing strengthening that connection. And I know you're in my group, Anne Marie, so we can share and talk about this some more in the group as well. Larkin, did you want to add anything, Angel?
Well, of course. And again, I'm going to be, I'm going to be a little more, maybe a little less gentle in my response. Because here's the thing. And I think this can often come off as there's, I'm trying to sell people into doing things with me or with Susie. And I'm not. Look, there's a very blatant line that I see here with people. I see some of the same of you that are on here now on my free live readings all the time. I see people, and again, I'm not bitching at you guys, but I want you to understand, depending on what you want and how much you want it, what are you going to do? Because, like if you're Anne Marie, like I would have said to you, why haven't you joined my Meet Your Spirit Guides event? Why haven't you? I have offered it for months and you're on here, right? Now, maybe you're in Susie's group, so you're working with Susie. Do something more in depth with Susie then. Do something more in depth. Understand that, even me, even doing this as I was a kid, guys, I constantly have to work on this. In your lifetime, you're never going to be able to get all of this, right? You have to just pursue it. Hi, Natalie. You have to just pursue it and understand that it's a process. I mean, just because I've done this my whole life doesn't mean I haven't had to work on things. I had trouble. I couldn't see fairies. I knew they were there. I spent a couple of years. It wasn't until I moved to Scotland and I read Ted Andrews' book. I don't remember which one it was. It was one about fairies. And I practiced over there. And I invoked the help of my spirit guides and the elves that I had worked with. I mean, I really had to work on that. But it's always us. It's always our thinking. It's the thing I said 15 minutes ago. It's always our ego and our mind and our human perspective. It's never that it's not working for you. Anything and everything that you want to connect with is there, is answering you, is responding to you, is available for you to sense. It's not that it's not working. And so it takes patience. And, if this is just, for whatever things are just fun for you guys and you don't really care, then just keep working on it and eventually you'll get it. But if you're really serious about this, I share this because I want you to have a breakthrough. I want you to understand, as someone that has been doing this and teaching this for years and has done it myself. For me personally, I get frustrated when I see people getting on and saying it's not working for me and it doesn't work. And I see those people all the time on my lives or in Susie's lives or on somebody else's readings. And you get a book, but I don't see, if you really want that, where is that next step? So for you, if you're in Susie's group, I would do something more with Susie. And I would get that external support. And I'm not trying to sell you into something. Maybe it's just something free. Like one of my groups is actually a paid group. I have people subscribe. It's a metaphysical group. They have to pay. But we get on every week and they learn about these things. It doesn't matter how you do it. It has nothing to do with paying for it or not paying for it. It has to do with understanding it's a process and understanding that in pursuing it, you need patience. you might need to try other things other than just getting on free lives. You might have to try other things other than reading a book, right? And I intentionally want to sound more harsh and authoritative when I say this because I want you guys to remember this. I want you guys, maybe you're going to get off and go, man, she's a pain in the butt. Why is she so, she's not. No, it's that I want you guys to remember that as a human, you're believing your thoughts. And so when you're saying it's just not happening for me, that's your ego. So my question to you would be, when isn't it happening for you? How long do you expect? I mean, is there a timeline? Did you expect it to happen immediately? I mean, I was 16 before my spirit guide showed himself to me in his full form. My one spirit guide. I mean, why do you guys think I have the Meet Your Spirit Guides event? Part of what people learn there is the level at which they are ready to connect with their spirit guides and to break through that level. So, Anne-Marie, one of the things you need to do, yeah, you never thought of it like that. That's why I come off the way I do on here on purpose, because I have to rock your boat and tip you over into the water for you guys to think about this differently. You have to have a change in perspective. And think about from your angels and spirit guides perspective. They can see everything. They know what you're thinking. They know what you're struggling with. They can giggle about the fact that you think it's not happening for you, and they're going to be like, it's so happening for her. She doesn't see the process, right? Because you're inside of the time frame of experiencing time, this confines of time, you have the opportunity, Anne-Marie, to say, wow, it's really not happening for me. Sure it is. There is no time. It's all an illusion. Nothing is what you think. So, my first piece of advice, and I'll leave you with this, is stop believing your thoughts. The very spirit world you're trying to connect with doesn't have these black and white, ultimatums that you guys make up. That's all in your head. You draw these conclusions and they are wrong. So be open to it. Do something more in depth with Susie. Let her help you shake this up a little bit. There are things on the other side that you're wanting to tap into. And in order to do that, you have to not believe your thoughts, because they're only going to tell you the very thing that you're trying to get beyond. Okay. So anyway, I hope that helps. Natalie, I have a question about presence and sexual relationships. In the last year, I've healed and improved my relationship with my husband. I'm very present when we make love. Wow, what an intimate comment.
I know. And then this is the second part to it.
Notice that feelings and orgasms are much more powerful for both of us. Wow. Well, first of all, guys, let me throw in this. This was not just spiritual work for Natalie. She's actually one of my mindset coaching clients. So a lot of this was involved mindset stuff. So just keep that in mind. You're human, so that's an important part of this. Wow, Natalie, that's fantastic. Let's go back to the first part so we can see the question. Susie, sorry, I didn't see it.
That's okay. There we go.
Find it.
There we are.
Wow. Well, since I've been talking, did you want to start with this, Susie, or?
No, you carry on with this one. This is your field of expertise.
Okay. Well, I mean, what I have to say here is, you have a question about presence in sexual relationships. So, I think that Anne-Marie, if you want to do that, just go to my pinned event on Larkin's Spiritual Psychic Medium Spiritual Interpreter page. It's any of the events. Just go to my pinned events and it takes you to larkinsreadings.com, and you can do that if you want. I don't know what it is in UK money. Susie might know. It's $40 in US dollars.
Be about 30, depend on exchange, about 35 to 37.
And it's 2 hours. So, but come prepared for it to run over, because I only take 10 people. Okay. So presence, guys, the reason this worked with presence and relationships, Natalie, is because what were Susie and I just talking about? When I got on, basically Susie was talking about being able to get present, through earthing and connecting with nature. What is presence? Presence is what Eckhart Tolle describes as the observer behind your thoughts. It is who and what you are beyond your egoic mind. It is that peace and that presence that is back there observing you, listening to me speaking right now. That's presence. Okay. And it's very difficult to explain. It's something you have to experience. So let me walk upstairs with this because my father-in-law is coming in. Let's take this upstairs so he doesn't make noise. Come on, guys, let's go. So the reason, Natalie, that presence worked, come on, guys, let's go. The reason the presence worked is because the thing that was, come on, upstairs, then we'll go out and go potty. Good girl. The reason the presence worked for that, Natalie, is because the thing that was causing the relationship and sexual issues in the first place was lack of presence. Okay. So if you remember about 15 minutes ago, I said, what did I say causes all of our struggles and suffering and challenges and problems? The egoic mind, your thoughts. That causes every issue that you have, which then leads also to physical issues, right? It leads to mental, emotional, and physical challenges. So what happened was, Natalie, when you fixed the mindset that we were working on in coaching, and part of that meant you learned to be present, those egoic issues also got fixed, right? Because beyond presence, they didn't exist. And so they were able to heal, and you were able to let go of the story that was connected to the mindset that was causing the problem. So presence in, and the other thing is, I want to throw this out there too, guys. It's not just, you can almost separate the sexual part of it, because that's the very physical part of it. And I know people like to make something spiritual out of a sexual experience, and I really wish that they would not. It can be at a level where if you have a certain soul or energetic connection with a person, okay, then the whole experience with that person, mental, emotional, and physical, sexual, can all be improved. But don't expect a sexual experience to just be improved because of that on its own. Okay, there have to be other things connected to that. That sexual experience is like the icing on the cake at the top. Okay, so there may be other things you have to work through. What that tells me, Natalie, is that you were able to get present within yourself enough that you were able to overcome whatever things you needed to internally to have a better energetic and emotional and mental connection with your husband. That removed the blocks, which then allowed you to have an improved sexual experience and relationship with him. Okay. But there is a specific order like that needs to happen. And you did that. So, but I'm so proud of you. I think that that's beautiful. You often don't hear that. People often don't work through that entire process to be able to get that change and transformation that you did. And I'm super proud of you. So thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, that is a beautiful.
Hi, Tara.
Yeah, hi, Tara. Thanks, everybody, for calling in and being with us. And yeah, unfortunately, this is it. We've come to the end of the hour already.
So next Monday, we will be back with you. Susie has
Absolutely.
beautiful events and card readings and beautiful tarot cards and journals and everything for you guys. So please make sure, if you're not already in her groups, check that out. I also have a reading, group angel party reading that Susie and I are hoping to host on June 16th, but we need a certain amount of people. So if you're looking for a private group reading, semi-private, there'll only be like 10 to 15 people there, for 2 hours. You can find that posted to my Larkin Psychic Medium Spiritual Interpreter page. If you don't want to pay us for a full reading, but you find that you would not like or need a reading. Obviously, the Meet Your Spirit Guides event is June 29th. I still have a few spaces. If you would like to actually meet your spirit guides and then walk away with learning what you need to do next to better connect with them. Every Friday is Furball Friday. And please check and like Susie's page for any events she has up and coming. Don't forget, guys, we have a YouTube page we're trying to grow. So if you'd like to subscribe to that, that would be great. Susie, you have anything else you want to add or share?
No, I don't think so. My groups, if you look for me and just look for Susie Antara Creative, you'll find me there. I do have a subscription group at the moment, which is for the princely sum of 99p UK pence per month. There's only 15 spaces left at that price, and then once those 15 spaces are filled, then it will be going up to £22 a month. And for those 15 that come in at that price, you will receive a 50% discount off my readings or any of my healing modalities that I'm working with moving forward in the future. So other than that, I have a page you can follow, and I do also have a free group, Angels and Intuitive Connection, which really is just a little place to share with many of the other group members. So any of the work that I do comes into Susie Antara Creative or here on Angels in Action. The toolkit boxes are coming into fruition as well. I have 5 of those available. So if you're interested in having a toolkit to hand with your crystals, aromatherapy oils, bath salts, cleansing products, all sorts of little freebies and goodies are going to go into the box as well, then just message me to find out more about those. And yeah, there is a new venture coming up very soon, which I got given last night during my sleep, which I'm now having to sit with and communicate a little bit more about. So I'll be sharing news about that in the near future. And Larkin and I will be co-producing, co-authoring, I'm not quite sure how we put that, a book with Larkin's beautiful animal cards. So co-creating, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. All
So
in the works.
yeah, so we've got lots coming up over the next few weeks and months, but yeah, by all means, come and find us on our social media, and if not, we will see you all next week. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful week, guys.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.